So I think I'm gonna give the description of the move, but then also talk about how it relates to alignment. So alignment is the base, posture, and structure that you or your opponent has. So base is the amount of pressure you can apply against the floor. So just for example, if you're standing on one leg, you're gonna have less base than if you're standing on two legs, because you're more balanced, you have two legs to use. Posture is more or less your spine alignment. So if your spine is twisted or bent, you have less force to apply and you're probably less in balance. And structure is the way that your limbs are arranged relative to your opponent. So if all your limbs are kind of pointed toward your opponent, it's like a more structured than otherwise, right? It's going to depend on the specific circumstances, but your structure is how your limbs are arranged against your opponent. And then there's three sort of shapes, and those are wedges, levers, and shoot, I forgot the last one. But the last one is more or less sort of the structure. So keeping an arm in between you and your opponent, for example. And then a lever is using leverage to move that arm. So defensively, you kind of want to use, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's one of the basic machines, like a stick or something. But you want to use that to keep the distance between you and your opponent. And then, as an offensive player, you want to use that limb with leverage to move it out of the way. And then a wedge is, offensively, is just putting like something to make an opening wider. And defensively or offensively also, actually, a wedge can also be used to stop an opponent from moving. So for example, like a hand in his back so he can't roll away or something like that. So today we learned, we reviewed Ouchigari, which is inner reap. So it's a takedown from standing. So you get an elbow and a lapel grip, rotate them around, and then let's just say you insert your right foot into between his legs, and then curl around. So that right foot is acting as a wedge in, and then you keep your right foot on the ground. So that is, if you pick your foot off the ground and hooked it around his leg, that would reduce your base. So you keep it on the ground, you slide it around and hook the ankle. So your base is still good. And then as it wraps, it pulls his legs apart. So that messes up his base. So then when we go down, we'd probably be in closed guard. So we practice what if the closed guard player gets you in an arm bar. So from the arm bar, you wanna use your other arm to stabilize that arm, prevent it from pulling it straighter, and then you stack up. So you, with the leg that's away from you, that goes up on its foot, and you stack. You can bring that knee under his hips to hold him up, and then your other arm comes through and holds the hamstring, allowing you to pull your arm out, and then you sort of do like a stack pass to the side, and then you stack pass to the side, consolidate to the side position. So from base, your opponent's gonna have a free base. He's on his back. He's on his back, and but you do mess up his posture when you stack. So when you stack him, you're forcing his feet above his head, so that bends his spine. So he can't really use his legs that well. So in the armbar, he would want to strain his legs in order to extend your arm. So when you stack him up, he's prevented from doing that. And then you're using your hand as like a wedge to pull it out. You're using the unattacked arm to wedge open the legs to pull your arm out. Second move, or the last move, was you get your arm out, but before you can pass, he traps your other arm into an omoplata. It's kind of a really hard position to describe. But in this case, you want to rotate your hips toward his shoulder, and then kind of hop over his head, and you want to land and sprawl with the hip closer to his feet on the ground, so you're facing the head, consolidate, and then into the side position. You want to bring your lower arm up to block the hip so you can't re-guard. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe the base posture and structure, but I'll try to keep in the future. Yeah.